Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a point in your life when noise is no longer progress, where attention becomes a distraction, where approval becomes a drug, and where the spotlight, instead of illuminating your path, starts to blind your vision. That's when you know it's time to go silent. It's time to retreat. Not because you're weak, but because you're powerful, because you are preparing for something greater. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Denzel Washington. Working on yourself in silence isn't about withdrawing from life. It's about stepping into the deepest, most meaningful conversation you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Let me ask you something. Where's your focus going right now? Are you living in the past, where guilt and regret live, or in the future, where anxiety waits in disguise? Because the real power, the raw fuel for transformation, it's in the present, right now. Where focus goes, energy flows. Tony Robbins. First, silence is not emptiness, it's awareness. In a world screaming for attention, choosing silence is a revolutionary act. But let's be clear, silence doesn't mean inactivity, it doesn't mean inaction. It means intentional work. It means doing the reps nobody sees and mastering the voice inside before you ever worry about the noise outside. Let me tell you, you don't get confidence by talking about it. You don't get discipline by posting quotes. You don't get freedom by waiting for someone to set you free. You get it by earning it, quietly, consistently, repeatedly. Success? It's not always loud. Sometimes it's just the sound of quiet grinding, day in and day out, with no one watching. Paraphrase from Tony Robbins. You think Steph Curry just walks on the court and magic happens? You think Denzel walks on set and delivers perfection without prep? No. Curry shoots 500 shots a day. Denzel studies his scripts like a warrior sharpening his sword. That's personal greatness. That's what you don't see. And that's what silence gives you. The stage where you watch, you become. Second, 3 decisions that shape your life. Tony says there are only 3 decisions you're making every moment that shape your destiny. What to focus on, what it means, what you're going to do. If you can control those 3 decisions, you can control your life. And that control, that inner mastery, doesn't happen in the open. It happens in the dark. It happens when no one's clapping. Ask yourself today, am I focusing on what I have or what's missing? Am I assigning empowering meaning to my life, dead or destructive stories? Am I acting in alignment with my goals or reacting to distractions? Third, silence is the furnace of transformation. You see, there's a moment, a sacred moment, when you're alone in the dark with no recognition, no validation, no affirmation. That's the moment you either fold or you forge. You either shrink back into comfort or you lean forward into greatness. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rohn, Tony's mentor. You earn your growth through discipline. Not sexy, not glamorous, not Instagrammable, but necessary. Fourth, daily actions for silent growth. Now you're probably asking, okay, but what can I do today? Let me give you the real to-do list, not the feel-good one. 1. Set a time every day to be with yourself, not Netflix, not social medias, not podcasts, just you. Sit in the discomfort of silence and ask yourself, what do I want? Who am I becoming? What am I avoiding? That stillness, that's your teacher. 2. Journal ruthlessly. Write what hurts. Write what excites you. Write what you don't want anyone else to know. Because when the page becomes your mirror, truth begins to speak. 3. Do one hard thing daily. Not because you have to for the dads, but because you choose to. Cold shower, deep workout, that awkward phone call. Anything that reminds you, I do hard things. I don't run. 4, audit your inputs. Cut out the noise. If it doesn't educate you, inspire you, or align you, kill the feed. Your mind is a garden. Stop letting weeds grow in it. 5, reflect more than you react. Before you post, before you reply, before you complain, ask, is this moving me forward or draining my power? 5th, the secret to self-esteem? Earn it. You're not going to think your way into self-esteem. You're going to act your way into it, because no compliment, no validation, no follower count will ever replace the deep soul level knowing that says, I kept my promise to myself. That's what builds power. That's what builds presence. And that's what makes you unstoppable. Don't aspire to make a living. It's aspire to make a difference. Denzel Washington. Stop chasing attention. Start chasing alignment. 6th, the inner game always comes first. You think business success, relationship breakthroughs, creativity. Any of that happens before the internal breakthrough? No, never. The outside will never outperform the inside. You don't get the life you want. You get the life that matches your identity. So, who are you when the lights are off? Are you the person who shows up even when it's hard? Are you the one who does the reps when no one's watching? Are you the one who stops comparing, starts contributing, and stays in your lane? Because the moment you stop performing for the world, you start performing for your destiny. 7th, your fuel will evolve. First, your fuel might be anger. You want to show them, prove them wrong. Good, use it, but that fuel will burn out. Then comes fear of failure. That'll push you, but not forever. Eventually comes something deeper. Pull, purpose, calling. That's the fuel that never runs dry. That's the moment you stop asking, what do they think of me? And start asking, what does life want through me? And that, my friends, is when you go from success to significance. 8th, comparison kills your energy. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're not broken. You're in process, meeked. Stop measuring yourself against someone else's chapter 20 when you're on chapter 2. Everyone blooms on their own timeline. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. Denzel Washington. Focus on progress, not perfection. 9th, discipline your disappointments. Life will hit, people will leave, plans will collapse. That's not the problem. The problem is when you let that disappointment set up camp in your soul. Learn to discipline your disappointment, not deny it, not pretend it's all good, but contain it, convert it, use it. You're not meant to be a victim of life. You're meant to be a co-creator with it. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. Tony Robbins, building anti-fragile confidence, accepting your truth without apology, understanding spiritual development as authenticity, the cycle of pain, purpose, power. Here is the final rituals and mental frameworks for staying focused in silence. 10th, confidence isn't given, it's forged. Let's get one thing straight. You don't wish for confidence. You don't affirm it. You don't fake it until you make it. You build it. Confidence is the byproduct of competence, of confrontation. Confidence is earned in the gym of your discomfort, rep by rep, day by day. Wishing for confidence without competence is delusion. Tony Robbins. Ask yourself this: where in my life am I waiting for confidence when I should be building skill? Because the moment you earn confidence, it's yours. Nobody can take it from you. Not failure, not critics, not comparison. You don't need external armor when your internal belief is made of steel. 11th, the compass of contribution. Here's the secret ingredient that most people miss. You want to stop obsessing over yourself. You want real growth? Start contributing. You want real motivation? Find something bigger than you, not because you're not worthy, but because when your purpose is larger than your pain, you don't fold, you rise. At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back. Denzel Washington. You can't serve something greater and not become greater in the process. Contribution transforms character. It builds courage. It gets you out of your head and into your heart. 12th, spiritual growth is being yourself without apology. Let's talk about something most people won't tell you. Spiritual development has nothing to do with incense or mantras, and everything to do with authenticity. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. It's about stopping the act. It's about no longer projecting the image and instead embodying the truth. We're all trying to become something we already are. Tony Robbins. You're not here to fake it. You're here to uncover it, to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. And that takes silence. It takes solitude, because you can't hear your soul through the noise of comparison and conformity. 13th, the cycle of pain, purpose, power. Let's break down the truth you already know. Deep in your bones, your greatest pain, it holds the seed of your greatest power, but only if you choose to use it. Many people stay in the first two stages. Pain. Why did this happen to me? Blame. Who caused this? Victimhood. This defines me, but you're not here to be defined by pain. You're here to be refined by it. You're here to say, that pain sharpened me. It humbled me. It taught me compassion. It made me powerful, not in spite of it, but because of it. The path is not to avoid the wound, it's to mine the wisdom in it. 14th, the loop of awareness and transformation. Your personal growth doesn't happen in a straight line. It's a loop, one you go through over and over. Unconscious incompetence. You don't know what's holding you back. Awareness of wounds. You start seeing how the past shaped you. Compassion for self. You realize it wasn't your fault. Responsibility, but it is your responsibility now. Transformation. You own the story and rewrite the ending. And then, life brings you to the next level of the loop. Different dragon, same warrior. 15th, freedom only comes when you stop playing victim. If you value freedom, emotional, spiritual, financial, here's what you need to know. Victimhood and freedom cannot coexist. You can't play small and expect to live large. You can't blame and grow at the same time. You can't wait for someone to rescue you and also become the hero of your life. You pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. Denzel Washington. So what's the opposite of victimhood? Ownership. Ownership says, I may not have chosen this, but I choose what it means now. I take full responsibility for where I go next. I may be bruised, but I'm still standing. And that's power no one can give you and no one can take away. 16th, the paradox. I wouldn't wish it, but I wouldn't change it. Some of you have gone through things nobody should go through. Childhood trauma, abuse, isolation, rejection. And if we could go back in time, we'd stop it. We'd hold that younger version of you and say, you didn't deserve that. But here's the twist life gives us. You wouldn't be who you are without that fire. It made you resilient. It made you resourceful. It made you real. I never want to go through it again, but I'm grateful for who I became because of it. Tony Robbins. That's the psychological superposition you must master, grieving the pain while being grateful for the power it produced. 17th, daily framework to stay in alignment. Want to know how to stay focused while the world distracts itself to death? Here's your blueprint. 1. Morning mastery. 10 minutes, breathe and visualize. 10 minutes, journal gratitude and intentions. 10 minutes, move your body. Wake your nervous system, no phone, no inbox, just you. 2. Daily declarations, not affirmations. Declarations. You're not hoping, you're commanding. Say, I don't negotiate with excuses. I show up even when no one sees. I am becoming the person who deserves the life I want. 3rd nighttime reflection. Before bed, ask, what did I do today that aligned with my highest self? Where did I let fear or ego speak louder than my truth? What will I do better tomorrow? That's how you engineer personal growth, not by chance, but by choice. 18th, redefine what success feels like. You've been tricked. You think success is applause. You think it's more followers, more money, more praise. But real success? It's peace. It's alignment. It's waking up and knowing, I like who I am when no one's looking. That's not soft. That's strength. That's the kind of man or woman who leads, not reacts. Don't confuse movement with progress. Denzel Washington. Make your moves count. Make your growth real. 19th, final truth. You already are, but you can be more. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a masterpiece under construction. You are not broken. You are becoming. You were born with greatness. It's your responsibility to bring it out. Tony Robbins. This journey is not about achieving more so you can finally be enough. It's about realizing that you are always enough and choosing to act from that power. Work on yourself in silence because growth loves privacy. Purpose needs no permission. And transformation is always loudest in the quietest rooms. You want to succeed in personal growth? Then go inward, stay consistent, speak less, work more, show up silently, rise loudly. This is your life. This is your mission. No one else can walk it for you. But the world is waiting for the version of you that only silence can produce. Now go. Go to war for your future in silence, with fire, with love, with purpose. And when they ask where you went, you'll smile because you were building, you were becoming, and now you are unstoppable.